Ravens fans, we just got some really good news regarding rookie wide receiver Devontez Walker and some not great news about Adisa Isaac. Starting off with the good news, Devontez Walker sounds like he had one of his best practices of the entire offseason, in which he made a highlight 50-yard touchdown grab over the safety Marcus Williams. Now, if you're like me and you've been wondering where he's been at in preseason, it sounds like he's been dealing with a rib injury, which could explain his absence in the games and also his production within the games. Now, I've been really excited about Devontez Walker since the Ravens snagged him in the 4th round of the draft. He's a guy that I think could really develop into a really special player, especially for a 4th round pick. The Ravens could not pass up the potential I think this guy has. His last year in North Carolina, he caught 41 passes for 699 yards, averaging 17 yards a catch. Now, we keep seeing the Ravens want to add that big play downfield threat to their offense. This is a guy that did that in college. Even before last year, he averaged almost 16 yards a catch at Kent State. So this is a guy that's done it his whole college career. He's only 6'1", 200 pounds, but he's lanky, he's got some long arms, and he's a guy that I think can absolutely develop into that downfield threat. So I know I'm encouraged that he went out there, and it sounds like he's maybe starting to heat up in practice. Hopefully he can stack, good practices together and maybe earn himself some playing time come the regular season and maybe have some production. I don't know. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but I think Devontez Walker could be one of those really sneaky rookies that could have some production throughout the year as he gets into games down the stretch here. Now, the bad news regarding Adisa Isaac, he has been diagnosed with, say it with me, Ravens fans, a soft tissue injury. He's been dealing with a hamstring injury throughout most of the offseason, which has limited his practice availability. So he didn't even start practicing until August 6th, and now he's dealing with this. John Harbaugh made it clear that this is just him getting into football shape. It's the conditioning that these guys go through, where they go from the offseason to training camp, getting their bodies ready for the regular season. Unfortunately for him, though, he hasn't really been able to train much in the offseason. So I hope this doesn't linger into the season, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it did, just for that reason. That you really can't underestimate what a full, healthy offseason can do for a player. Just ask Rashad Bateman. But Adisa Isaac is also another rookie that I think could be a steal. We may look back in a few years and be like, I can't believe that guy was available in the 3rd round of the draft. His last year at Penn State, started 13 games, made 37 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, 4 quarterback hurries, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. So that's a pretty packed stat line there. And he's not a Nick Bosa. I'm not going to say he's going to be dominating the league. He might. I don't know. But for a 3rd round pick, as a guy that you take a flyer on and just see what happens. For a team that has young edge rushers, throw another one in and see what this guy can do. I'm really excited about him. I'm excited about Devontez Walker. And another one, TJ Tampa, a guy who many people thought was going to be an early to mid-second day pick, fell to the 4th round. Another guy that I think the Ravens stole. If you have to grade this Ravens draft class, it's got to be an A. And again, that's before seeing the regular season. Obviously, we may look back and that may be a different case in a few years, but right now, it looks like they got so much value through the entirety of the draft. I'm just super impressed with the Baltimore Ravens, and I can't believe some of these players were still available. I think they have 3 guys that, from Adisa Isaac on, that could potentially be really good starters at some point in the National Football League. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because obviously none of them have played a snap in the regular season. However, looking at what these guys did in college, I think they got 3 really, really good football players for really great value in the later rounds. So I hope Adisa Isaac is able to come back, sooner than later. John Harbaugh insists that this is not going to keep him out as long as the hamstring injury. So that would be good. Hopefully he's able to get back and get his body right to where he's, kind of gets rid of these nagging injuries, I hope, for his sake. And also see what he can do on Sundays is going to be super exciting with this young edge rushing group. I want to know what you guys think, though. Out of the Ravens rookies drafted in the mid to later rounds, who, if any, do you think could be a diamond like a Keaton Mitchell or a Puka Nacua in this year's draft. That's going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. Really helps the video in the algorithm. If you're a Ravens fan, hit the subscribe button. Helps grow this channel. And I'll see you all in the next video. Go Ravens!